Good day everyone, this is Junaid, a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and welcome to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the confusion people have between the two departments, IRCC and IRB. Very similar, deals with the immigration matters most of the time, but let's talk about what IRCC does, what IRB does, and how they collaborate with each other. And once you are proceeding with your application, you must know which department is taking care of your application. So initially, let's talk about the IRCC. So Immigration, Refugee Citizenship Canada is the federal department deals with the immigration matters. So if you are submitting your application for temporary resident visas, which consist of two applications, visitor visas mainly and study permits, because these are the two applications which are temporary in nature, and you're not supposed to be getting a permanent residency. Well, there are pathways, but these visas are for the temporary nature, and your passport gets stamped for the period of the time you can visit Canada or you can study in Canada. Other than that, IRCC also deals with the immigration programs, mainly known as Express Entry, which is a federal program, and there are provincial nominee programs as well, which different provinces have their own nomination programs according to the demand and the nature of people they need in their specific provinces. But if you are getting a nomination from a province, the file, end of the day, the file is going to the IRCC to process the immigration work on it. Other than the immigration programs, there are family sponsorships also dealt with the IRCC. Adoption sponsor or of your spouse and children's, super visa parents and grandparents, immigration workers, if you're talking about the temporary foreign workers, all the investment visas, startup visas, business investments. So all of these programs where immigration, the IRCC, the Department of IRCC is playing an important role and making sure the people are coming with the right intentions, take care of all of the documentation matters, and this is the department which provide you the visas and the clearance to enter Canada after reviewing the complete information, complete forms, the supporting documents in each file, and making sure that the person they're calling into the Canada, they do not have a threat to the country. So basically they take care of the security clearances as well. If we talk about IRB is an Immigration Refugee Board. So again, federal department, but mainly deal with the refugee matters. Initially, if a person is applying for asylum, the forms are available on the IRCC websites, and all of the information is available on IRCC websites as well. And initially, this case is enter into the IRCC programs, but later on, once everything is completed, it refers to the IRB, which is the Immigration Refugee Board. So Immigration Refugee Board consists of multiple tribunals. So let's talk about what are the programs IRB deals with. So IRB deals with the Refugee Protection Division, which means if you are applying for a refugee case, or if you're applying an asylum, the Immigration Refugee Board is the main participant in your application. The decision is going to be made by IRB, not IRCC. So initially you're applying to the IRCC, but once everything checks out, once all the documents are completed and your case has a genuine nature, then IRCC refer your case to the IRB. And IRB consists of Refugee Protection Division, which mainly deals with the refugee cases and asylum cases. Other than that, IRB also deals with the RAD. I mean, one of the division is RAD, which is Refugee Appeal Division. So these two departments, Refugee Protection Division and Refugee Appeal Divisions, are basically under doing the same work, in a way that they're dealing with the asylum seekers, the refugees. Um, Initially, you apply the case, a person apply the case for the Refugee Protection Division, and if the case is approved from Refugee Protection Division, then definitely person gets the protected person status, and they can apply for their family through the IRCC. If the case is refused from the Refugee Protection Division, then the person has a right to appeal, and you can apply for the appeal in Refugee Appeal Division. So these are the two divisions specifically deals with the refugee and asylum cases. Other than that, under IRB, there is Immigration Appeal Division. What Immigration Appeal Division basically does is, so let me give you an example. Let's suppose if a person is in Canada and the person is a permanent resident of Canada and basically charged for the serious criminality in Canada. Let's suppose a DUI, driving under influence, and if the person is charged, now DUI is a serious criminality, and on the basis of serious criminality, that person is supposed to get a deportation. And now if a person is in this situation where he has a charge of a serious criminality, plus he has a deportation order from the IRCC, now this case will heard by the Immigration Appeal Division. Only the immigration part of that case will heard by the Immigration Appeal Division, not the IRCC. So Immigration Appeal Division is also a division under IRB, which takes care of multiple matters. The one example I gave you, the second kind of case is a sponsorship appeals. Let's suppose if you apply a sponsor application for your wife and children and IRCC refuse your application, then the person has a right to appeal, and that appeal will be heard by IAD, Immigration Appeal Division. This is the second example. And similarly, if a person is permanent resident in Canada and the person does not really stay in Canada for the period of time he's supposed to be staying, and now the PR is expired and a person is outside Canada, now this person can appeal as well, and again the appeal is going to be heard by Immigration Appeal Division. So these are the two main departments, IRCC and IRB. IRCC mainly deals with the immigration work, and IRB, the Immigration Refugee Board, will mainly deal with the refugee cases, refugee appeals, immigration appeals, and these kind of work. IRCC work mainly consists of filling up the forms, gathering the documents, the supporting documents, and submit the application. In the IRCC part, you submit the application and you get the results. But in IRB section, these are mostly hearings. That means that, if IRCC refuse your application, then a tribunal, a member, a judge can hear you in the court. Most of the time is their online hearings, so they can hear the complete situation and then they can make a decision on it. Some people might confuse, maybe, or are going to confuse this with the judicial review as well. So let's add that a little bit in this topic too. So judicial review, none of these departments, not the IRCC, not the IRB, hears the judicial review cases. So judicial review is basically heard by the federal court. So these two departments has nothing to do with that. If a person is applying for a judicial review, that means if they have received a refusal from the IRCC, then the person went to the IRB, go for the hearing, and the IRB refused that application as well. Now the person has a right to appeal to the higher court, which is a judicial review, which is a federal court of Canada. And now if in a judicial review application, if the judge turned down the decision from the IRCC and IRB, then your application will be reopened. And if in judicial review the judges agrees with the decision from the IRCC and IRB, then most probably they will turn down the decision, and then the decision is going to be the same, and it's going to be a refusal for your application. So these are mainly, we were talking about the IRCC and IRB. These are the main two departments deal with the immigration matters of Canada. And if a person wants and if they have right to appeal to go for the judicial review, then they can bypass, or they can basically trying to turn down the decision from both of these departments and go to the higher court of Canada, the federal court of Canada. So I hope I explained these two departments well, and all of the information you can go to the websites, IRCC website and IRB website, to get more information about it. But I feel like most of the time, because I'm representing clients to IRCC as well as the IRB, Immigration Refugee Board, most of the time the clients tend to like mix up both of them, and they don't even know which department are taking their application. And I feel like whenever you're applying for an application, you must have this sort of information. I mean, it's available online. You can check where you're applying to, and especially when your case is with the IRB, and you are subject to be you are going to be a part of the hearing. You must know these stuff. You must know like which division your case is going to, what are your rights within this case, what can you do and when you cannot do in this case. Another good news for my viewers, that going forward, I'm also going to talk about some of the matters from the IRB as well. We will also talk about the process and the facts about the RPD, Refugee Protection Division, deals with refugee matters, Refugee Appeal Division, and Immigration Appeal Division as well. So just stay tuned, and good luck. Thank you.